right over there. And it's just recipes that we cook at the farm with produce from the farm. So it's like all non-GMO, really healthy for you. And we used to have this like kitchen. It was just like a typical home kitchen, and so like it was always really cramped. But then I think they got a grant, and so we got like this new cool futuristic kitchen, and like the same interest as me, like because like a lot of these people like they don't really have voice, so like just like finding a voice and being able to talk. There's a reclaiming of that spirit. And we hope this is a method to help these young ones build up to fight off some of the problems that you see with all young people now, with homelessness and suicidal thoughts and negativity and depression. Some of the things that we want to lift up. When they say this, if you heard them say, you're saying, hello, all my old gardens still coming up, and those plants are waiting for us, like the old wild potatoes, the old wild plums, the old wild
Introduce yourself and talk about what the Indigenous Food Lab is doing here.
Do you want me to look off camera or in camera?
Oh, look at me.
All right. So my name's Sean Sherman. I run the company, the Sioux Chef. We're based in Minneapolis. I'm a member of the Oglala Lakota Sioux Tribe. We are here today at the State Fair promoting our up-and-coming nonprofit restaurant brand, the Indigenous Food Lab. So we have a full day of programming. We've had people like Bruce Savage from Spirit Lake Wild Rice. We have Winona LeDuc coming up. We've had Dream Wild Health and all the kids. And we just have a bunch of our team doing cooking demos throughout the day.
Cool. And like you said in your presentation, you hope that this leads to more Indigenous representation at the Minnesota State Fair?
Yeah, we've been working with the Minnesota State Fair for the past couple years now, and just really talking about the lack of presence of Native American culture here. So we're really happy that they gave us this platform to have this full day of programming, and we're working hard to see what we can do in the future to make Native American culture a mainstay part of the fair.
Great. And have you seen the success of the Sioux Chef kind of generate more awareness of Indigenous foods in all different parts of
Yeah, we believe so. I mean, we've had great success with the cookbook, having won the James Beard Award this year. And we, of course, have traveled quite a bit and been able to get a lot of attention. We've been in, lots of articles and television and stuff like that. So we're excited that we have that platform to be able to share and to help bring that awareness. But we see it really helping to make a difference.
Yeah, great. And what is it about the food and what you're doing that traditional knowledge and practices related to Indigenous food sovereignty, how does that maintain culture in the face of assimilation, genocide, etc.?
Yeah, well, we look at the impact that colonialism had on Indigenous peoples and the reservation systems that happened, and the intense state of oppression that our Indigenous communities have been in for a few generations now. But we also look at, the value of the past, the value of the lessons that our ancestors should have passed down to us, of how food systems should have worked, which included, Native American agriculture techniques, knowledge of wild foods as plants, as medicine, as crafting, hunting and fishing techniques, food preservation techniques, and just seeing that being so valuable for the future generations. And our work is completely devoted to pulling as much knowledge out of the past to apply it to now, so we can all start to evolve and grow with it and pass it down to our younger generations.
And not only foods, but medicines, everything.
Yeah, the whole gamut. Foods, medicines, crafting, everything's got so much value, and we can really help revitalize our cultures, putting food as the center of it.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sioux Chef. This is part of our team back here. We're going to do a little cooking demo today. So we've been running this programming today under our up-and-coming restaurant called the Indigenous Food Lab, which is a nonprofit restaurant we're opening based on education and just creating a place for people to come and learn about Indigenous foodways, and also a restaurant that's going to be live and open to the public. But it's a unique nonprofit restaurant we designed to bring people to work alongside us and to help train them to work with these style of foods, and also to have a place where we can have a classroom kitchen, something like this, maybe hopefully as nice, we'll see. Someplace where we can just have a place to teach about Indigenous foods, just to pass on this knowledge that we're gaining and then help to develop a curriculum around it, and also be a little bit of research and development for us as we really just want to be a place and a resource for people to come and find out about Indigenous foodways. So Indigenous Food Lab is a part of our nonprofit, which is called NATIVS, or North American Traditional Indigenous Food Systems. So NATIVS is a little bit easier to say. You can find more information about us at natives.org, and Kate's over here with some information if you guys have any questions about NATIVS. And we are a 501c3, so if you want to support us or have your friends support us, please pass that information along. No. I suppose, yeah, 1 second. Erica Joe, where are you? Can you switch the camera? Thanks. So we're going to do a little bit of a demo with the style of food that we do. So to understand the food that we do, we focus on Native American foods of North America. We focus on very regional foods. We look at what people were eating here before Europeans came over. So we have been, with our businesses that we've been running for the past few years, we cut out all European ingredients, so there's no dairy, there's no wheat flour, there's no processed sugar. We're not even using beef, pork, or chicken. So we're just showcasing. There's so much to do, like to think about the foods that we have right around us. So we've been able to use the game, the fish, the birds that are all around our areas. The proteins are kind of the easy thing because anybody can break down an animal. Our biggest study was in plants. So we looked at learning all of the wild plants around us. We looked at researching Native American agriculture, trying to find out were there any Native American seeds still out there, and can we still find them in, connecting with people like Dream Wild Health, we just had on earlier today with all their kids who are growing out a bunch of these cool Native American varietals, and being able to have a place that we can purchase from. There's another farm called Wojupi down in the south part of the city in the Milwaukee area. We also utilize that quite a bit. And there's another one even in urban Minneapolis called Mashkiki, which is kind of down on 24th and Bloomington and something like that. So Brian and I are here going to do this demo. Brian, you want to introduce yourself? Let's get right into it.
Brian Yossi, I'm Navajo from Arizona, from the northeast part of the Navajo Nation.
So Brian's been with me for the past few years. Brian went to St. Paul Technical College for a culinary degree, and we've been working hard, and Brian's been able to travel around the nation quite a bit too, and we actually just got back from Copenhagen ourselves. We went to a there's a world famous restaurant called Noma, and the chef that put it on, his name is Rene Redzepi, and he put on kind of a chef gathering. So we're able to just really meet a lot of interesting people. So we're going to make a really simple thing. I'm going to parch a little bit of corn first. This is just dried corn, and this corn actually came from Riverbend Farm, which is just south of the city. And all I'm going to do is toast it up a little bit. When I get it a little bit toasty, it's going to start to pop a little bit, but not pop up like popcorn. And you guys are going to be able to smell it in just a little bit because it's going to be that familiar popcorn smell. This is a flint corn grown by Riverbend, and I don't know the exact name of this one, so I'd have to ask. But this is just a nice yellow flint that we were getting from Greg Reynolds down at Riverbend Farms. Well, there's so many different kinds of corns out there, and there's different purposes for different corns. Some corns were utilized to nixtamalize because it was easier to make them, especially the dent corns, which can be so hard, and so tight. And this one is actually quite a bit fatter, so it makes a pretty good flour corn, as we're going to see in a little bit, because we're going to just throw this right into this corn grinder. Brian's going to do that up. This can be a little bit of work, but it's totally worth it, of course. And something as simple as just toasted and ground corn and turning into a mush is something so traditional and simple. We see it in some of the areas. And anybody's grown up in the South, and of course grits, right? We have also polenta. It's basically the same very simple recipe of just taking some ground corn and cooking it up in some water. And it can be a little labor intensive, but that's why I have a Sioux Chef. Alright, so as soon as this is ground, it's already boiling. Let that go for a little bit. Get this back on. These stove tops are so fast, you just barely touch them. Alright, so we're just going to grill up a little bit of some of these fresh veggies to go with this. So this is some of the sweet corn. And if you're in the last talk, we were talking about corn, how you can tell the difference between native corns and non-native corns. And this one is obviously non-native because you can see by how many rows it has, which is like almost 1 million. But yeah, so it's just a typical sweet corn you guys have seen. But we love veggies. The only issue with sweet corns is they have so much sugar content, compared to the native corns. So they can give you too much carbs. Throw this in this pan, it's already hot. We have a little bit of cut up zucchini, some fresh summer squash. This is a little bit of sunflower oil, and we're lucky that in Minnesota we have some great organic sunflower oil producers out there. We've worked with smoothies quite a bit in the past, and it's just a cool company we have locally. And then this is a little bit of sunflower seed and pumpkin seed that we're going to toss in this mix also. And this is a little bit of puffed amaranth. And if you don't know what amaranth is, it's this red thing growing right here. So if you see this, you can actually just break it apart and see all the little seeds just come right out of it. So these things have a ton of seeds, and you see wild cousins of them growing all over the roadsides too. So they kind of are everywhere. And if you dry toast them, they pop up just like micro popcorns almost, basically. And then I'm just going to make a really simple sauce. Can you hand me one of those teas? All this is just blackberry fresh. I'm just mashing it. I'm going to put a little bit of this kind of sweetened cedar and maple water into it. And it's just going to be a really simple sauce. We're going to hit this with a little bit of pure maple vinegar. So this is something that's so beautiful. Our friend Kevin makes this out in Gun Lake in Michigan. And basically they take the last dredges of the sap that's not concentrated enough to bother to cook down, but rinse out all of the sugaring equipment out of it, and then pour what's left of that into some kind of container and just let it sit for a while, and they just get a really beautiful maple vinegar out of it within just a matter of weeks, a few months basically. So we're just going to add a little bit of that to this just for a little bit of flavor, because there's nothing wrong with flavor. And then we're just going to make a really simple plate out of this. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this corn. You guys see this in this picture? It's kind of hard to see. Take a little bit of this mixture. Just put that right in there. Put a little bit of some broken up smoked fish across that. And then we're going to take just a little bit of some fresh greens, and this is just some fresh kale. I'm just going to chop it really thin. Nothing wrong with fresh greens, and then just a little bit of this sauce. Voila, so just a few ingredients, and something that can really speak of season and of region and of culture, and it happens to be extremely healthy. I use a tiny bit of sunflower oil. It's just really a perfect food. There's all sorts of balance going on in that. And these are the kind of foods that we like to play with and that we enjoy celebrating. We enjoy sharing, and there's a whole bunch of these kinds of recipes in the cookbook that's for sale over there. If you guys aren't familiar with the cookbook, it's called the Sioux Chef's Indigenous Kitchen. Beth Dooley is over there. She's a local cookbook author that wrote it with me. Beth, can you wave? She's not listening to me. She's ignoring us. I'm just saying you can wave at everybody. Yeah, so Beth and I wrote the book together, and we won the James Beard Award for Best American Cookbook. It was so awesome. But yeah, feel free to grab a book if you want to. Winona's got a whole bunch of cool stuff coming up here pretty soon. Brian has a demo coming up. He's going to do some foods based on his homeland, which is in the Southwest. And we just have a few more programmings and some more presentations. So we're going to be doing this all day till 6. So thank you guys for listening and sitting and watching us.
I love it. That's great. Well, John has to be here for it. So that would be great. Yeah, thank you. Well, it's awesome. Yeah, thank you. Oh, I love it. Yeah, because the colors. Hi, just a mixture of our seasonal drinks. I got married. great. Yeah, you're lucky. Yeah, that's cool. That's really cool.